First of all, you need your data inside the Excel document in which you're going to work. Here I have my data of the X and Y axis, and the next step is to select it and insert it in a graph. So I'm going to select the values of the mass of the beans on the bowl and the values of the diameter of the crater. So I go to the Insert tab and click where it says Dispersion Graph. You can adjust the size of the graph. To label the axis, we need to be at the Graph Design tab and click on the tab that says Add Elements of a Graph. Select Axis Title, and in there you click on Principal Horizontal and Vertical Horizontal. I will write the titles of the X and Y axis. In my data, Y is diameter of the crater and X is mass of the beans and the bowl. The next step is to add the arrow bars, so we click on Add Elements of a Graph and click on Arrow Bars. We want to personalize them, so we will choose more options for the arrow bars. Here we have vertical arrow bars, but we can change them to horizontal or personalize them. So we will click on Personalize and click on Specify Values. Here I have the uncertainties of the measurements, so if I want them to be vertical, I have to put only the y-axis uncertainties for the diameter of the crater. In the tab of Select Values, we need to select the values for the positive and negative arrow bars. In this case, both are going to be the same. These are little uncertainties values, that is why we cannot see them at simple view. The next step is to put the best fit line, so we are going to the tab Add Elements of a Graph and select Linear Thread Line. That would be our best fit line. If you want to personalize it, you can go to more options of the trend line, and then you can put the name of the trend line and also the colors and change everything. You can personalize it. If you want to change the color, you only have to go to Format of the trend line and choose the color you want. If you want to add the maximum and minimum gradient, first you need to double click on the graphic and choose Select Data. You need to add a new series of data for the maximum gradient and another for the minimum gradient. The first one I'm going to add is the maximum gradient. I need to select the data for the X values and select the data for the Y values. If I want to put the line of its gradient, I only double click on the point and add the tendency line. The same process is repeated for the minimum gradient. So add the new series, select the data for the X and Y values, double click on the point and add the tendency line. There are a lot of options for the design of the graphic. I'm going to choose the blue one. I also want to change the color of the best fit line, so I click in one of its points and change its color. So if at the end I want to show the equations and correlations of each gradient, I only click on their respective points, and at the right I can see the format of the trend line. So I go to the right section and click on Show an Equation of the Graph, and also click on Presenting the R-square value in the graph. Here I am arranging the equations in order to make it easier to understand. The next step is to put a title to the graph. So you need to go to Tab, Add Elements of a Graph, and select graph title. So finally you can write the title in order to finish your graph. If you want to paste the graphic in other program, you can. I chose to paste it in Word, so the only thing you need is to copy the graph and paste it in the other program. And that was all for today. Thank you very much.